Up YouTube? It is Enzo Dream here, and today I want to talk about a dream I had, which is about sorry about that, which is about the origin of Islam. I had this dream a few weeks ago in 2025. It's 2025 right now, so I want to talk about what happened in the dream. Basically, in the dream, there was this like group of people, Greek people in Greek robes. It was in ancient Greece. I think in Athens it was at nighttime, but there was some lights on. There was a guy sitting down on some like kind of like porch or something, or some kind of like stone thing surrounding a bunch of plants, and he had like a bluish white robe. He had like a beard on, and he looked like Pythagoras. And yeah, basically, there was this Greek philosopher who was talking about basically he was talking about how he wanted to create a religion out of Adi Shankara's non-duality Hinduism, or Advaita. And basically he said that he really loved the Hindu philosophy, but he hated the savage pagan Hindus. He basically hated the savage pagan Hindus, but he loved the non-dual philosophy of Adi Shankara. And I remember I think he was a Greek person around classical Greece, like the time of Socrates or something, but he could have been earlier or later. And basically, you're saying that and basically somehow in the dream, something told me, like I think either he said that he was creating Islam, or that basically, he was basically the dream was saying, in the dream he said, or like I heard, that basically he created Islam and he based it off of Adi Shankara's non-duality dreams. So basically, what the dream is saying is that Islam was created by a Greek philosopher before, in classical Greece, before the time of Islam and Muhammad, and that he created, and that it was based off of Hinduism. So basically, for anyone who doesn't know who Adi Shankara is, he's this Hindu philosopher that created a form of Hinduism. And basically, what he taught was that we're all one with God. Everyone is one with God, and that God's inside of us all, and that we're all part of God. And basically, he was a Hindu philosopher in the 8th century, so the 700s. So kind of a similar time to Muhammad. Like a few 100 years after Muhammad, this guy came to be. And basically, this Greek philosopher was basing his philosophy off of his thing. So basically, this Greek philosopher, he really respected and admired the Hindu culture and like the Hindu religion. He liked it. He really liked the philosophical part of it, but he really hated the Hindus. He thought they were basically tribal, backward savages who like were pagans. He hated the fact they were pagans. So I guess he was monotheistic. He wanted to make a monotheistic reform of it. Like so, monotheistic means one god. Polytheistic means like lots of gods, like ancient Greek religion, whatever. So yeah, I don't really get what this dream was um, at all. I don't know what this dream means at all. But apparently, if we're going by this dream, apparently Islam was founded by a Greek philosopher. It was made by a Greek philosopher for some reason. And I've had quite a few dreams about Islam, trying to tell me about how Islam's negative and how Islam's bad. I've had quite a few dreams telling me about the history of Islam and the Arab people. So, I really don't get why I keep getting dreams about Islam, but for some reason I go dream about the origin of Islam. And this Greek philosopher and stuff, yeah, apparently he made it. I don't really know how Islam could have been made by a Greek philosopher, because this Greek philosopher existed before Islam existed, and he would have existed before Jesus, because this is talking about ancient Greece, like classical Greece. Like I knew this, I kind of knew this was in classical Greece around the same time as Socrates or Alexander the Great, or somewhat beforehand. So even though I don't really know how this philosopher could have founded Islam, but apparently a Greek philosopher founded Islam. Now, I don't know which philosopher he is, but he's either Pythagoras or I think he's Xenophanes. Xenophanes. I don't know how to pronounce him, because I think he might be Pythagoras, because he kind of looked like Pythagoras and stuff. Like Pythagoras is a really weird look. He has like a pyramid in his hand and stuff. And yeah, so he was either Pythagoras or he was Xenophanes because he looked like Pythagoras and Xenophanes kind of looked like he looked like he was basically a philosopher that said there was only one God. So he's saying something similar to Christianity, and lots of Christian people in the Christian church believe the ancient Greek philosophers were the backbone to their religion. So that's why Christianity has so much Greco-Roman kind of stuff. That's why we have stuff like Trinity. So yeah, something else that's interesting is I was in a group chat with this truther, and he said that Islam was a Freemason religion. He said Pythagoras was the first Freemason. So if Islam really is a Masonic religion, maybe Pythagoras was this dude, was this Greek philosopher, and maybe this Hindu idea of non-duality existed beforehand, or maybe the timelines have been kind of like messed up. Maybe history's being rewritten. Like the Book of Daniel says that all times are going to be changed, right? So maybe Adi Shankara existed at the same time as Muhammad. It was a Greek philosopher, and maybe like ancient Greece or something. Maybe the Greeks they went to Arabia sometime. They made Muhammad their front guy, but they made Islam beforehand. Because there were weird Christian monks in Arabia, and Muhammad encountered this weird Christian monk who told him that he was supposed to be the guy who started Islam. So maybe he was that monk or something, or like maybe he's the reason why Islam had so much Greek-Roman influence. Like Muslims have a weird respect for Greek philosophies. Maybe that's why. And I want to say, if you're a Muslim, I want to say I'm not trying to offend you here or say that your religion's fake or anything like that or trying to be offensive. I'm just saying what I was told in the dream. And if you're someone who knows about Greek philosophy and history, I would like your help to identify this Greek philosopher because I don't know which Greek philosopher could have known about Hinduism and Indian religions. Like I think there were some Greeks that went to India, like Alexander the Great, but I'm not sure if it would have been this guy. So yeah, I'm thinking it's either Xenophanes or Pythagoras, but it could be someone else. So if you're someone who knows about Greek philosophy and history, please let me know who you think it may have been. And if anyone is Muslim or Greek, please give me the knowledge so we can kind of figure this out together. So yeah, my ideas is basically that this guy was either Pythagoras or Xenophanes, and this was either a pre-Socratic person or Socratic person, or somewhere around that time. So yeah, I guess this is how Islam originated. I guess Islam was created some kind of hijacked religion to control people. So if this is true, that means Islam is actually older than Christianity, assuming that this philosophy existed before Christianity. So Islam is actually older than Jesus. Like Islam actually existed before Jesus. Like it's kind of weird, but Islam actually technically exists before Jesus if this dream's actually true. Like, so Islam existed during a time of like 300. Like, isn't that crazy? That's really interesting. So, yeah. So if you're watching this, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy your day or night. I'm Enzy Dreamer, and I'm signing out. I'm back at the end of this video. I just wanted to add a little bit more to this video to try to explain some things. Now, when I record this video, I don't feel like I really explained the best, like what I meant. I don't feel like I explained what I meant the best, so I wanted to add a little bit of explanation to try to sum up the dream. Basically, the dream that I had, I believe it revealed to me what the origin of Islam. Basically, what I believe it means is that I believe that there was some Greek philosopher or group of Greek philosophers in ancient Greece, in classical Greece during the time of Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle, around like classical Greece or at least pre-Socratic Greece, that they were trying to create some kind of monotheistic religion that blended Hinduism together with their own beliefs. So basically, I believe they wanted to hijack Hinduism and make it into their own religion to control people. Now, I don't know why they wanted to create this religion or what their motives were, and I have no idea how I could get more information about this, but basically, I believe that they wanted to do this to control people, and they wanted to, like, reform society in their own image. So, people say that the Catholic Church created Islam. And before I had this dream, I actually thought that the Catholic Church could have created Islam too, but no, the Catholic Church didn't create Islam. The Greek philosophers did, if this dream is true. And basically, and the thing that like really is confusing about this dream, what I find confusing about this dream, is that historically it doesn't really line up with like history as we're told, like what we're told about history, because it's like Islam was created in the 700s in the 6th century. No, I think that it's the 500. Islam was created in the 500s, or like the 600s, and ancient Greece existed. Well, the time period that I'm talking about was like 500 BC to 400 BC. So that's almost 1,000 years apart. They existed almost 1,000 years apart. And Adi Shankara was a Hindu philosopher who existed in the 700s, I think, like the 8th century. So that means he was born 100 years after Muhammad, thousands of miles away, and he was born like 1,000 years after these Greek philosophers. He was basically born almost 1,000 years like after these Greek philosophers, if not even like over 1,000 years. So basically, some random Greek philosopher decided to hijack a Hindu idea and teaching that didn't even exist yet. That doesn't really make sense. So I think if my dream is like true, which I think it honestly could be, like this means the history's being written. Like there's always people online that talk about how history is being rewritten, and well, it seems like the history may have actually been written. And yeah, regarding who I think the philosopher is, I'm really not sure who it could be, but I really do think it could be Pythagoras. I'm still open to Xenophanes being a philosopher, but I don't honestly know. But yeah, that's kind of what I think it means. Now, I think that this really reflects like the attitudes of the colonial Europeans when they're colonizing India. When India was like being colonized, a lot of people, a lot of Europeans had respect for like the Indians' culture, well, for the Indians' philosophy and for what they believed. But they actually didn't like the Hindus, and they thought they were like basically pagan savages, and they tried to convert them to Christianity and Islam. And it's actually really funny because if this is true, then it turns out Islam's just a hijack of Hinduism. Something else I forgot to mention was that Islam actually takes a lot of things from Hinduism. I've heard things saying that the Black Stone Mecca, the Kaaba, was actually originally a thing dedicated to Shiva. Was originally an altar, an idol dedicated to Shiva. The way that the Muslims recite the Quran and they sound like they're singing, well, that's what Hindus do. They recite the Bhagavad Gita and they sound like they're singing. And even though there could have been some influence in between them, it really seems like Islam's trying to take from Hinduism. Like Muslims, they have a festival called Ramadan. Well, in Hinduism, there's literally an avatar called Rama. He's literally a religious figure called Rama. An avatar is like basically like a godlike figure that becomes a human being, kind of like Jesus, but like it's like not really like a one-off thing. It's kind of like something that happens multiple times. But with that, there's like there's also some Arabs who were from Sheba, who was either the son of Ham or the son of Joktan. I can't remember which one right now, but Sheba, if you replace the B with a V, it's Shiva, and well, there's actually a whole Jewish festival called Shiva. So the point is, it's like there's a lot of connection between Islam and Hinduism, and it seems like this could be the reason why. But to get back to the point, it seems like the sentiment that the British people had with Hinduism, with the Indo-European theory, they made up a whole theory trying to basically take credit for the Indians' accomplishments by trying to say that they were first and these Indians were last, and that's what the Indo-European theory was called. And it's like I really think the Indo-European theory is kind of nonsense. I think these Indians were just their own culture. They had like influence from other languages, but like to the point, it's like It seems like there's something more going on here than what we realize. So I really believe the history is rewritten now. I believe it's possible history is being rewritten, and I believe that things are not as they seem. I would like to say that I will post you with more updates, but I'm really not sure like if if that's gonna happen. But if it does happen, if I find anything new or discover anything new, I will definitely post it on this channel. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. And also, don't follow Islam.